Hello, and welcome back to DevOps Quick Bites, where we break down key Salesforce DevOps topics in less than 10 minutes. Today we're talking about something that's absolutely foundational, yet so often gets overlooked: DevOps culture. And if you're thinking, isn't DevOps just about tools and pipelines? Then this episode's definitely for you. So, to find out more, stick around. So here's the reality of DevOps. You can have the best tooling in the world, source control, CI/CD, automated tests, slick deployment flows. But if the people and the processes behind it aren't aligned, things will break down. Culture isn't just a nice to have, it's the bedrock. So let's unpack what that means. When we talk about DevOps culture, we're really talking about how teams work together. DevOps started as a movement to bring development and operations teams closer together, hence the name. But in the Salesforce world, it means even more, because our teams are incredibly diverse. We've got admins building with clicks, developers writing Apex and Lightning Web Components, architects designing solutions, testers validating features, product owners setting the vision. And of course, let's not forget operations, security, compliance, and the change management folks. They all play their part. For DevOps to thrive in this mixed environment, we need collaboration, communication, and a strong sense of shared responsibility. Think about a typical deployment. How often have you seen finger pointing when something goes wrong? That's a dev issue. That's an ops problem. I thought QA tested it. In a DevOps culture, those walls come down. Everyone owns the result, not just their piece of the pipeline. So how do you build that culture? Let's start with communication. DevOps teams talk a lot, not just in sprint reviews or retros, but throughout the day. They check in, they share context, they raise risks early. One of the simplest and most powerful practices is the daily stand-up. Short, sharp, focused, it keeps everyone aligned and gives space for blockers to be raised before they become issues. But communication is just the beginning. Next comes alignment. Everyone needs to understand why you're embracing DevOps. It's not just about speed, though of course that is a big benefit. It's about building quality in from the start. It's also about reducing risk, getting feedback sooner so that we can learn faster and deliver more value. So if your team is just starting out, bring them on the journey. Don't just say, we're doing DevOps now. Explain what that means for them. Show them how it solves their pain points, fewer late night deploys, less rework, clearer ownership, faster recovery when things go wrong. And now let's talk about structure. Successful DevOps cultures are built around cross-functional teams. That means bringing people from across the delivery lifecycle together, and not just working in parallel, but truly collaborating. When developers and testers pioneer on a user story, when admins and devs review changes together, when product owners stay engaged all the way to deployment, that's where the magic's going to happen. But what if you're in a large org with separate teams and lots of handoffs? Well, start small. Create a pilot team, one group where you can experiment with DevOps practices end to end. Give them that space to work differently, and then share the success. Culture change tends to spread faster when people see the results. And finally, remember that culture isn't static, it evolves. What works for a startup team of 5 won't scale to a global delivery team of 50. So keep checking in, run regular retrospectives, ask your team, what's working, what's getting in our way, and then iterate on that. That continuous improvement mindset, that's also DevOps. So before we wrap up, here's a quick story from the field. One team I worked with had amazing tooling, GitHub, automated builds, test coverage reports, the whole lot. But deployments kept failing. Turns out their admins and developers had never really aligned on how changes should be tracked. The devs were committing to source control, the admins were making changes straight into the sandbox and using change sets. No one was being malicious here, they just weren't working from the same playbook. Once they brought everyone together, set those shared expectations, and committed to a single source of truth, things changed overnight. Fewer failures, less frustration, and a much happier team. So what's the takeaway from that? Well, DevOps is about people first. Tools help, of course, but only when the team is ready to use them well. So focus on building the culture of trust, collaboration, and continuous improvement. Thanks for joining me on this episode of DevOps Quick Bites. I hope you found it useful. Give it a like and a subscribe and share it with your team. Let's keep the DevOps conversation going and collaborate. In the meantime, I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.